What's up, Rockstars? Today I'm going to be covering how Mythic Games and the Red Joker, their website is down. Things are looking pretty dire once that happens. Regardless of what they say, you should be worried. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I do want to make a big shout out to Into the AM. I'm wearing a shirt from theirs right now. Do all the time. They fit great. They feel great. They have a Black Friday sale going on. So I want to make sure that you know about a good company that has a great deal. 60% off if you use the link down in the description below. That's an extra 10% off on top of that. It's like a site-wide. They have everything, right? Like everything's on sale. Real quick, just looking, like one of the cool things that I really like is the fact that even their best sellers, right? The stuff that they sell all the time because they're fantastic, are on sale, like this Endeavor quarter zip tee, $35 for a great jacket is awesome. These are my favorite pants of all time, hands down, no questions asked. This is definitely it. These all day pants, fantastic, and they are on sale now, so that's awesome. So really happy to see that. Just wanted to give a shout out to a good company before we move on to some of these other companies. So if you look here, this is mythicgames.net, service unavailable. Now, I know that last time I was very conclusive in the fact that, like, they are not going to keep going. Leo has pretty much said that. All signs point to that. They're closing up their other, subsidiary, junk or whatever. I don't know why people make all these other companies and junk. Like, just have a company. I don't know. Anyway, the funny business stuff was happening. Either way, mythicgames.net, which is their official website. I know it's a .net. It was always kind of weird. Not even up right now. They're not managing. In fact, I've watched it for a couple days now. It's been down for days. This was their web store. This was like everything. No more Mythic Games, right? And if you go over here, Mythic Games, even they were posting as of August on Facebook, right? Trying to sell more Six Siege, the board game. Well, you can't now because the entire website is down. This is just the next step in the process of them closing shop. This is the deal is done, guys. There is no more hope. There's no more chances. They are checking out. Now, you could debate, should they have checked out sooner? Should they have checked out later? I don't know. Let me know. If you ordered something from them after the whole kerfuffle on like Kickstarter and GameFound and all that stuff, like from their web store, let me know if you actually did end up receiving it. I've heard mixed things where some people did receive stuff, some people didn't. I used to point people there because it's like, look, you can still get Six Siege, and it was a great game, and like it's available, and it should be in stock. They're just trying to sell it out. But then when I started hearing reports about people not getting their stuff, I was like, I'm going to stop even pointing to it. So I haven't pointed to their stuff in a while, but let me know if you got that. And yeah, again, just yet another nail in the coffin. They're going around the coffin, putting all the nails in. This is the next nail. Now, the Red Joker, their website is also down. Their official website, linked on their Facebook and all sorts of other stuff, is the redjokerkingdom.com. Again, I don't know why it's like that, but that is the name of the website. Service unavailable, again, has been for days. Now, the Red Joker is a very interesting one because it is a lot more of a smaller set of people that it affected. Most are from Mythic Games. That was kind of hugely disproportional. But on this channel, and a lot of my viewers, a lot of you guys, it was a little bit more heavier than others because I did like their content. Oko Chronicles, one of my favorite games to play. A fantastic card system. I like being able to select that. And then the minis, I even painted the minis, and I like the short campaigns. There's a lot to like about Oko Chronicles. And then they had their like cyberpunk game out as well, Cyber Odyssey. And sure enough, that also, the prototype was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. Never delivered. Neither did the latest Oko Chronicles, and now their website is down. Now, this is, I'm going to dive into this a little bit, right? You can see right here, their last update on Cyber Odyssey was October 29th, 2023, right? This is a pretty much just, it's never going to happen. And as you can see, it didn't even make 100,000. They should have never completed this on 573 backers. This is a company that should have canceled and did not. Right, because they were desperate for money to be able to deliver, and then it still wasn't enough, so now there's just more people. Right now there's 573 other people that are now out of a game because of this, right? And then you go to Oko Chronicles. This is their last one, Cycle of Earth. And again, over 1,000 backers, which is good, but only 166,000 raised. And again, that could be a lot higher. It would have been nice to be a lot higher, right? But obviously they are hemorrhaging money, especially with multiple campaigns they haven't delivered yet. And so that's kind of what that is. As you see, their last update here, December 12th, 2023. I've covered this before, so I'm not going to cover it too much here. But as a recap, if you go down to production, they offer you full transparency on the situation. Not true. And they understand that waiting can be frustrating. Well, obviously they don't understand enough, right? Now, what's interesting about here is if we go down to the comments here, about 2 months ago, Neo Yokai said, I had a chat with the Red Joker. They have confirmed that the project is, and I quote, far from dead, and the Red Joker should have a more precise update soon. Obviously, they did not. It's now been 2 months. It's almost a year since last update, and nothing. Now, I actually spoke with them as well, and they pretty much gave a nothing burger, just like that update where it's, hey, we're still trying to work some things out. This is exactly the line that Mythic Games did as well. And I don't know if it's just because they're both French companies and that's just kind of like a cultural thing, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not from there. I know some cultures like don't like to like call it quits, or they don't like to, give you bad news, so they like sugarcoat or whatever. Either way, these are two companies that are saying stuff like, oh, we're just hoping that another contract comes in, or maybe we can go to retail, or maybe we can invent a money tree, or whatever desperate situation they have to try and get funds so they can actually deliver. But they're not going to say, hey, we cannot deliver, let's just call it quits. Instead, it's stringing along, so people keep commenting, and people keep wondering, hey, what the heck's going on? Well, a whole lot of nothing, right? Now, that being said, just like Mythic Games, you can still have the pledge manager is open. You can give them money. I would not suggest it. I don't think that's a good idea, and I'm not going to link it down to this. So it is linked on their Kickstarter should you want to do whatever you want with your money. But yeah, this is the exact same thing, and I kept pushing people to Mythic Games like, hey, if they get more money in, if they do this, they can deliver, and I'm just not seeing it happen, guys, and it's just too risky at this point, especially for a pre-order. This is not something where they're just selling stock. Now, they did deliver Alter Realm of the Gods, so they did that pretty recently, and in fact, as short as 5 months ago, they were responding. So I do think that they're kind of there. They're just not willing to put an update to be honest with backers, and instead they're really trying to be cagey or trying to be hopeful or, whatever they need to do to just maybe it'll work out in the end. It's not going to, obviously. They can't launch another campaign. Nobody's going to fund for them. And like there's stuff like Cyber Odyssey. They've never really sold a lot. They were always like a struggling indie. And that's kind of why I gave them a shout out all the time. And they delivered their past campaigns, which was fine too. Because I think indies deserve a bigger chance. And it sucks that when it happens like this and people get burned and then people don't fund indies anymore. But, I kind of want to root for the underdog in these games that are unique and aren't mass marketable, so they're not getting a lot of funding. But then at the same time, they want to, like, make them in China and deliver them all over the world and stuff. Like there's no reason Cyber Odyssey with 573 backers should be produced in China. It just almost doesn't make any sense. There's other ways you can do it at a smaller scale that makes sense for it. And I really think these indie companies, especially ones that aren't having the biggest, best new thing, and I know everybody thinks they have that, but until that's proven otherwise, they should have stages where they have plans on manufacturing. Hey, if we get under 1,000, instead of doing the 1,000 minimum thing and doing it in China and having the freight and all that kind of stuff, let's just make it locally. We'll 3D print it, or we'll cast it, or we'll go through one of the other kind of more indie places that will make games at a smaller scale. I think there's stuff like GameCrafter, I think it is, something like there's all these companies. There's some Polish ones even, I think, that are still making them. I don't think Archon really does that anymore, but I know that there are some there. There's always a place somewhere, America, wherever, where you can make it at a smaller scale, just like they make these prototypes often. So once it's big and it explodes and it's the next Gloomhaven, sure, whatever, make it in China. But until then, they should have a fallback. And this is the problem, right? You let me know. This is not delivered. Should they just say, you know what? No miniatures, they're all standees, but you get your game. The problem is, and the reason I don't think that's viable at this point, is because they've probably already paid for the molds, or at least a lot of them. And the paying for the steel mold that this is it's normally steel, it can be other materials, that the plastic is injected into and cooled down and made into a miniature, is the majority of the cost of making miniatures. Making them afterwards is actually quite cheap. So, like, if you've already footed that bill, you may as well benefit from them. The one saving grace from that, even if they have already paid for that, is first of all, they have those molds, the manufacturer can keep them, and, you know, they can use them in a future campaign if they actually can deliver and start doing this again. But miniatures also take a lot of space in the box to ship and to, you know, more freight and all that stuff. So they reduce freight, they reduce the footprint, they reduce the cost if they went with standees. Would you rather get no game or game, but now it's standees? It's not the game that you paid for, but at least you have it. Or would you rather just say, you know what, without it, never mind, nothing, I don't want anything? Let me know your thoughts. Would you pay for shipping if it was just standees? Or would you hold off on that? I'd be curious to know your thoughts. Because I often think, at least deliver something, right? And then, you know, maybe the STL so people can 3D print it, and there can be people that a free open license so people can offer to print it for other people, and you just pay for shipping and all this other kind of stuff. I think there are options to still deliver it. You just have to make sacrifices. You just have to make cuts to what you were planning on doing. But if that gets the game across, then just do that. That's my opinion anyway. I would rather see that happen more often, where if push comes to shove, you still get your game, but it may not be exactly what you had wanted, but it's better than nothing. The problem there is making it and then assuming that they're still going to pay for shipping and all that. I mean, it's a mess either way. It's a mess either way. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Would you pay for shipping if this delivered? If Monster Apocalypse from Mythic Games was to deliver, but it's all standees instead of miniatures, all those cool, awesome, amazing monster miniatures and stuff like that, and robots and kaiju and all that junk. If instead it was standees, but you actually got the Monster Apocalypse game, would you pay for it? Now, Mythic Games is a harder one because, like, would you ever give money to Mythic Games again? No, because they've kind of strung people along enough on the, oh, pay this and you'll get this, and oh, never mind, it's not enough, and junk, right? Anyway, it's a messy situation either way. It sucks. I do like to shout out the indies, so we have both almost an indie darling in my mind. Red Joker for a long time was one of my favorite creators, and Mythic Games, the big, you know, person, the big company on the block when it comes to crowdfunding board games, that again loved their games, adored them, thought they were awesome, and now they're both where they are now. It just kind of sucks, but. Anyway, yeah, their websites are down, guys. It's not, and it have been down for a while. There's nobody at the helm of the ship, okay? If the ship's sailing, it's adrift at sea, right? And I'm not sure they're ever going to land ashore again. But anyway, that's that. Are there any others that maybe I should take a look at or we should warn people about? Let me know in the comments below if somebody should avoid any of these companies. And if you don't know, look down below, see what other people are saying. Sometimes these companies, not these particular ones that I'm aware of, will delete comments and hide comments and refund people just to silence them, but they can't touch my channel nearly as easily, and so my channel is kind of a little bit of a safe haven when it comes to talking freely and openly about worries on companies, because they're not there, they can't control the comments and stuff like that. So feel free to check out the comments and let everybody know what else they should maybe avoid, or maybe an indie that is safe, right? Hey, I know they're indie, but they always deliver. They always make a great game. They're not outstanding on a whole bunch of campaigns. They're doing really, really good. Let's give those guys a shout out too. Maybe even avoid the link. Maybe just tell people about the campaign. The link, often YouTube will remove the comment before I can even see it. That's outside of my control. They don't like links because spam and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's what I'm covering right now. Good luck out there. Stay safe. There's still awesome companies, still awesome games. There's awesome shirt and apparel companies like Into the AM. Link down in the description below. Save yourself 10% on top of the 60% sale they have. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye, guys.